They were looking at a prime minister trying to pull the plug on the legal system that's meant to hold him accountable. And here's the thing, because this is where the mechanics matter. The president does have the legal power to grant a pardon before a conviction. That's written into Israel's basic law, and it's no use pretending otherwise. But law is one thing, and political legitimacy is quite another. And Israel's political stability has always depended on that unwritten space between the legal minimum and the democratic expectation, which is why this request has exploded, frankly, in the way it has, and is getting reported as widely as it is, at least in some publications. The presidency isn't an executive power base, it's a legitimacy office. The pardon power works because nobody abuses it. It survives because it isn't touched in anger. The public trusts it because it's always been used sparingly, and almost always after guilt has either been admitted or a conviction has been handed down. When someone tries to suddenly use that power to preempt the judiciary, well, you hit the limits not of the law, but of the system's patience. And this is where Isaac Herzog gets dragged into this crisis, because he now has to respond not to a legal question, but to a constitutional one. And yes, that's the correct word, even though Israel doesn't have a single codified constitution, because the presidency sits at the centre of a constitutional expectation, that the law applies to everyone, that judicial processes are not toys for the executive, and that political leaders cannot simply step out of the dock because they feel the case is inconvenient. If Herzog grants the pardon, the presidency collapses into partisanship. If he denies it, he triggers the fury of a leader who has spent years treating the judiciary as a rival centre of power. And if he stalls, which is really the only option he's got, he stretches out the crisis, deepening the uncertainty inside a government that's already running on crisis narratives and coalition fragility.